doll.
Hello, old souls, fellow empaths, seers, seekers, and psychonauts alike. My name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. We're going to utilize the scrolls today to see what shapes and symbols stand out and speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on some tarot and oracle, and where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kick in, we have GhostTube for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive a release freely. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. Let's go. All right, I'm going to take a moment here just to kind of tune in. You're welcome to join me. Taking a nice deep breath, closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. In the name and honor of fellow old souls, thank you for being here, for being you, and may you meet a message with me. All right. If you want to take a screenshot at all, this is a Ouija oracle, Omen and Ouija oracle. So new or newer, if you'd like to see what's standing out to you. All right. I need my contemplation crystal ball. There's something new being written in the Akashic, I'll say, or in the all-seeing author of sorts. I feel like I'm actually seeing the author of something. Maybe it's you, or an awareness author of some sorts. I've also captured something that feels like a dis-ease. And this is definitely bringing in a blessing. I also feel like I am writing down a pro and con list type thing for a choice or a decision I'm making. I also feel like I am scuba diving. Yeah, I'm going to say scuba diving.
Queen.
I am seeing something. There's lots of things also happening in my peripheral, but this has like a Poseidon feel. I don't know if this is more emotional or just in the realms of water. And when I say water, I mean like actual water on Earth. Some of you might be scuba divers, or you might be going into your subconscious realm like a scuba diver, not snorkeling, or maybe you're moving from snorkeling into scuba diving, deeper, farther, going, what's that, like spacing farther than we've ever gone before, but this feels like a subconscious space. I'm also sensing that, old souls, there's some sort of hieroglyph happening here. Some sort of hieroglyph. I don't know that I know how to read it. I'm also seeing a crypt or a coffin. A crypt or a coffin. There are a lot of thoughts about this passing.
I told him.
This person passing or somebody transitioning. But when I see the hieroglyphs, I kind of get the impression it's like something found, like a tomb. And it doesn't have to be necessarily Egyptian-like. It has that air that something that hasn't seen the light of day for some time is. Now, its energy isn't actually coming with this being shown on Earth, but it is like observing, like that all-seeing author. But there's something about the thoughts. It's almost as if there's people, places, or things around this that is unsure. Because it's like the power of the myth or mythos of it is still carried as an expression today, but the actual energy of whoever this may be or whatever this energy entity is or was isn't with it anymore. But it's the people, the thinking that keeps it alive, but it's through them.
Okay.
Very interesting, old souls. I don't know if the old souls are like, I have this feeling, Okay, so I have this feeling like when people, maybe it's like scientists right now. Is it scientists that put things like under glass to like capture them in time? And so they can always be revered. But there's something like that. And I don't know if some of you old souls are recognizing certain dis-eases within oneself or within the subconscious sea of souls. It's almost like the shore of where the animated realm that we're here in currently meets the afterlife, but the shoreline being like the astral. There's something about like an invisible equator. It's like the equator, not sciencey, but something about the equator is like this invisible line,
Purgatory.
But we all know how to reference the equator. Does that make sense? And something about helping both, I don't want to say both sides in regards to a side, but it's almost like moving.
Leave.
Even subconscious, conscious, or super conscious, apply any of the consciousness you like, the physical to the metaphysical. And like things are captured, and you might be capturing things, whether it's photographically with your mind, your heart, your hands. These could be things like if you're collecting rocks or crystals, or you find a piece of paper or a note or a book. It doesn't matter really what it is. I feel like that when you know it is held in glass for you to almost dissect or really appreciate, because it feels like an omen for you. Like you understand something about it. And if it's something of dis-ease, it's like I'm focusing on the ease. I have no idea if this makes sense. Let's keep going. Add on some tarot and oracle. I will flip this. And if you're part of the second tier secret society, you will have access to all the extendeds, but also this one quite specifically. It'll be the first link below, YouTube link below. To the video. These hieroglyphics are very strange. And I feel as though these hieroglyphics are they hieroglyphics? Okay, that's fine. I don't need to worry about this. How do I say that? I want to say they were channeled by someone or something. It's almost like I'm seeing something in a cave. If somebody received some sort of information or was carved into this coffin, tomb, walls of a cave. But this place was very much a container for something. And I feel like the information or the hieroglyphs in and of themselves were channeled. Or information was given. Four of coins, if that means anything to you, please follow that. Yeah, it's like... Okay, hold on. King of Swords. Whoops. I think I got this whole deck upside down. And then the Seven of Spears. Even see how all these spears, but it's like spear scuba diving or spear fishing. These are all pointed out, but I'm almost like when I see this, whatever it is that I'm seeing, I'm like, oh my goodness. They're pointed at me. There's also a submarine in there. Somebody in this submarine is like, here, I can pick you up. I can take you away from this.
Stressed.
And it has a stressful sensation. Like, why is this making me stressed out? It might even be something I'm just observing, and I kind of don't want to get caught in the crosshairs. Because there's so much confusion. Because the way I'm seeing this is almost like the Home Alone guy. And it's like, oh my goodness. And just by this like, I'm going to call it mob mentality, but I'm not trying to necessarily press that out there, but that's how it's feeling. And it's like, I'm going to get caught in this, even though I might just be an innocent bystander.
It's outside.
I also want, yes, it's outside of me, but yet I feel like it's all going to point to me if I don't get out of the way. And I have to make a choice. Am I going to join in? Am I going to leap in to the cause that I'm not really sure what's going on, but intuitively or instinctually land one side or the other? Or am I going to like have rest and reprieve from engaging in things I don't know what's really going on? What's really going on? But I feel like I find something about that
Crying.
I can take back. Yeah, because this doesn't feel great when I go externally, like what's outside of me. But then it's like I get something from here and I can take back to my laboratory, and I can look at this and see what this seed is. And it's such a blessing for you, even though it came from a situation of surprise and maybe, disease and chaos. But look at the seed of it. Now, whether this is internal, one's own chaos or saboteur, no apologies required. You can see what it grows into. And this is a blessing for you because it feels helpful. I also want to acknowledge there's another sidebar little rabbit hole here, and I'm going to acknowledge it. It came through earlier when I might have had a weird response or reaction. It's something about like a data bank or DNA bank, and like looking at something to see what can be changed. So when I say changed as well, I don't necessarily know, but I'll just express the way I say it because I don't need to really know, but I do want to acknowledge it. It's like it's like almost like being a mutant, right? Mutant. I don't know, pick a superhero show, and they might have something different that is mutated within their body or their DNA or their genetics. And I also don't know if there's like different kinds of mutants. Like, is there mutants that have been like a science experiment, or is there mutants that have also been like descendants, or when giants and humans or angels and humans intermingled, and then there's like that kind of mutant. I don't know. But that's like the weird thing. Like, I can't really make a decision because they're both there, and it can be tough to discern which is which or what is what. Not that but I feel like something's trying to be mimicked. Maybe. And then also parts of like disease, like maybe some form of cure. But there's a bank. I don't know if it's like DNA bank or data bank or data DNA. Is that a thing? A data DNA bank? It's really, really protected. It's really protected. Because it's like I'm seeing a person in here that has like 2 big books out, and I'm like almost like Braille going through information just by like running my fingers over things. But it's the way I'm seeing, even though it's like Braille, it feels like a code, and this code that has a texture of some sort that's beveled, but then it's bringing me back to the hieroglyph, and they might have, it's like one is like a future or a different expression of the same information that's in this hieroglyph that was like extracted. Something's extracted. And now it can be like placed in, and also maybe guarded. But something's like really surprising about this whole thing. Maybe it's the way it's like revealed that it's surprising. 4 of Spears. Judgment, and then Justice. On the bottom is Page of Spears. Okay, let me bring these up for you so that you can make your own judgments. Whether it's the artistry, the card name, We're free here. Free as a bird. Whatever feels good to you. Notably, that did come out in the reverse, but I don't necessarily take that unless I'm like blatantly being called for that. The interesting thing, you're so cheeky and I love it. It's almost like that's a perspective. Depending on, remember I was talking about, I don't know, sides of something, or like just the energy of seeing like what's going on. And if you don't move either away or towards, you kind of get mixed in the middle. But justice is it subjective or objective depending on where you're at? It's all very... It's all very interesting. I also want to note that this King of Swords and the Judgment card coming out, like they're very similar in coloring. Are they even the same dude? See, because like in this one, there's all these people with him. With this one, it feels like information encased. That's very protective, like that author feel. And then when we bring about the second layer of this of swords, it's like I'm trying to make these judgments and I'm trying to marry something. I can feel that here even within myself. I don't know if it's like history and the future married into the present moment. Can I see that for a second? And back in the scrolls, I'm just gazing around here. What card do we want? Okay. Oh, we're actually going in there. Okay. One moment. My stomach just growled. Hungry. I'm getting hungry.
You don't understand.
Okay. So there's something to Old Souls. I don't know, again, internal, external, but you guys are wise enough to explore. I don't need to. It's almost like something like in this bank of what's held under glass to be not dissected, but viewed, dissected. Anyway, extracted, and something marrying into like DNA bloodlines. Now, this doesn't have to have necessarily the negative air that I kind of get the sense, but again, I'm trying to make judgments along the way because I don't feel like everything's quite being, I want to say sold, because it's like whatever it is, I'm going to marry it. I'm going to marry it with maybe my genetics or my thoughts, my beliefs, my feelings. So I have like cold feet because I'm not quite at the altar of this. And it's like when you would write vows and, and kiss, and write vows, like there would be this, this big book of these vows. It's like that author again. I don't know. I'm going to use the term exactly the way I'm hearing it. I feel like the term catch-22 is coming through.
Hand.
Catch-22. I think this might have been the second time you've said hand now. And when you said it this time, it's like being the hand of the king. Old school time. Well, we have the Game of Thrones out here. And you might be surprised that once you merge, maybe, people have companies merging and marrying. Maybe this is whatever channel it is. And there's some prizes. It's like being in the position of hand of the king, but it's like you're surprised to find out what's being asked of you, or maybe you're just noticing this from an observer space and you're recognizing it and seeing choices being made, and you know what I'm saying. It's quite a position to be in. And something about who's writing history. And it brings you back to the hieroglyphic thing again. I can't read hieroglyphic, and I feel
Not
like
feeling well.
I feel like that's the irony. Even with the Braille thing, it's like the language is right there. Okay, tangibly feel it, but I don't read hieroglyphics. I don't read Braille. And it's like I'm somehow surprised to find out about something. It's like, but it was right there. And you're like, yeah, but I don't know. Okay, so I have vitality, the sun coming through. Transformation. I'll put it right there. Like that connection, like swimming with each other, dancing, this merging, this marrying. Now, if you personally are like getting married and you're merging companies or merging families, please know that that's so cool. That feels really well. This feels, Old Souls, which is more, indicative of your ancient aura exploring, that it feels just like very wide, right? So it's like of the self, but beyond the self at the same time. This is bringing me into that, okay. I'm not going to call it the right thing, and I know I'm going to sound silly, but give me, oh my goodness, this car's been coming up so often. One moment. Jurassic power. It's like, right? It's like transferring of power and making judgments about that. But it's like, if you've ever seen the movie Labyrinth, when she's like, at some point in time later on in the movie, and they're dancing at the ball and things start spinning faster and faster and faster. And it's like, none of this is right though, but it's easy to get swept up in the power. I also want to note that with this power card here, so okay, I'll be right back, sorry. 44 card, 4 and 4. So I don't know if a lot of 4s are coming up. You're noticing things in 4s. 44, maybe you're 44 years. I don't know if there's even like a 44 cycle. Because on one hand, I feel as though this dis-ease transforms, thank you, into positive power of vitality. Yes. This is where I feel like Old Souls know. And maybe it's through like some sort of, it's something about the present moment of remaining steadfast and strong and making decisions when to, what's that saying they say? Not my circus saying. Not my circus saying. Not my monkeys, not my circus, or something like that. So, but I want to know, it's not like I'm trying to be dismissive or separative or anything like that. This is conscious choices for conscious consequences. It's alchemy at play. When I wander into the other air of this,
22,
I feel as though, like, in this hesitancy of like marrying this, it's like the vitality has been like that collider thingy, or the Big Bang thingy, that collider thingy, and something has been opened up. And changed something, but it's not going to be known for some time on a public stance or in a public way. And even then, I feel like even if it's out now and I just don't know because I don't
Slam.
watch the news or anything like that, it's like being sold or told, I should say. I don't want to say sold.
Convicted.
It's like I'm being told what will give me vitality. There's also something about the promise of the afterlife in here. And join this story, this maybe timeline. I don't know. But I kind of get swept up in it, and it makes me dizzy. It makes me dizzy. I don't feel celebratory. When I wander into, can I go back to like the old soul feel more directly, orbiting that, I feel as though I recognize something within myself, within the aspects of myself, and I'm merging and marrying all those parts of me, transforming, and it's almost like bringing again this ancient to futuristic power into the now. Like insert dinosaurs into the moment of now, insert the Jetsons into now. Everything's coalescing. The Flintstones are on the bottom, the Jetsons are on top. That equator is there, but it's really just a blurry line. It's all now, and it's like that's the awareness I have.
Boring.
But it's almost like the center line of like where things are being written or said, or like the sun and the moon are here. I don't know if it's some form of worship or judgments that are very defensive or being defended, even this old information. Something just feels shocking. Huh, Hulu? Something feels shocking. Okay, I'm gonna grab one card here that'll kind of kick us off into the extended. First breath, beginner's mind. Okay. That's going to be our kickoff into the extended. If you would like to join me, you're more than welcome to. And if not, I'm so grateful for you. And I'll see you again soon. Bye. Next card, Reconciliations. Unmarked Trail Revelation. Off to the extended.